Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And thank you so much if you join me tonight at 7:35 p.m. Pacific time, because as you know, we normally do 5:50 p.m. Pacific time, 8:50 p.m. Eastern time. So welcome to this late night edition. Once again, it was a full day of market meltdown while you're out here busy doing things. And once again, that's what we're out here doing, trying to help my aunt with my wife's formulas, with us being here and giving support. So that is why I'm late this evening. So I want to thank you all for being here and welcome to the stock market opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. Always your friend. It's your moneymaker. Remember that today was a meltdown and you had another opportunity to make money going down. There's a lot of people that shorten the markets. There's a lot of people doing a lot of different things with stock market trading, but you guys need to be in the game. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know who's going to be out here looking for information. Remember, there's a lot of people that need help right now, especially if you already know 8 out of 10 people are living paycheck to paycheck in America. 8.5 people in Canada out of 10 are living paycheck to paycheck. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. What does that mean to you? We have a lot of smart people watching this channel. If you had customer base and had a business and you had 8 out of 10 people that walked in, you know they're living paycheck to paycheck to come into your business. And then you say, I know I have a brilliant idea to make more customers come. I'm going to raise the price. Says nobody, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a meltdown in all facets of our economy. First things first, for all of you who are having problems financially, trying to get that Stop Struggling Now program started, here's an easy one for you, findhelp.org. It's that simple, findhelp.org. Thank you, Matthew Lesko, for giving out the jewel. Put in your zip code if you're inside of America. Then you'll find out if there's some nonprofits that's there to help you and your family and your loved ones, and tell a friend because Americans do need help out here. Our government is not helping us. The stock market is not Main Street. The stock market is for the rich, wealthy, and investors. If you're not an investor, then the stock market doesn't matter to you. There's nothing that you should be saying if I said, oh, all-time record highs. If you're not invested in the stock market, that has no bearing on you, and you should not be very happy. You should be in the game. So the first things first, findhelp.org. Second thing second, we need your credit to get better, which means you have less debt. We need you to get less debt, because when you free up some debt, that means you freed up an army of funds to now make investments that can make you money long term. You can't sit here and go, hold on, let me put in this $5, $10 a week, or $10 a day, or whatever you're going to do. It's going to grow too slow. That's not your way you should be looking at it. The stock market is a long-term play unless you decide to do something about it, because there's a lot shorter plays that you can do. And that means you're going to have to invest in the stock market personally. Unless, of course, you have some sort of way to make profit from the stock market by going up and down without you involved. Just saying. The best way to do it is learn a new skill. Come on now. You guys know you can learn skills. So don't be shy out here. All right. Now, back to the credit situation. I'm doing some other things in the background. All right. So let's get back to credit, because we do need you to have that pen, pad, and paper ready. I'm starting off all live streams pretty much the same way. I need you guys to hit up Tracy if you want to get your debt reduced quickly. What does she do? And the company, they renegotiate your debt down, just like if you're a millionaire, just like if you're a billionaire. You know, these guys are very lucky. They get to go to banks and say, hey, I can't really pay you. What can you do for me? Kind of thing. So I can get you at least paid. Well, traditionally, you hit up Tracy via email. Then she gets whatever information she needs from you. Then you say yes or no. Then you find out that you can pay off your debt without having to go to debt collections, without having to do bankruptcy. So therefore, that gives you a huge leg up, because on the other side of this, which is 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years, you could be in good standing. And I need your credit high, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, it's not even going to be that high that's going to be needed. But our goal is by December 31st is to have you up there at 775. Why? Because there's going to be 0% interest. And that's where you need to play. You need 0% interest, whether it's going to be, well, at this point in time, I'm searching for that 36 months 0% interest. And you need a 775 or upper credit score above that. So therefore, we can get you in the game. First things first, in the chat room. Once again, it's open to everybody, no matter which platform you're watching from. So therefore, don't be shy if you have any questions, if you want to make some comments, if you want to give suggestions yourself. We're all open to everything. I don't know everything. Anybody watching this does not know everything. People do things differently that can help them and help others. So we're all ears. If you have something you want to contribute, fine. If you want to make a comment that you say, no, I don't believe that, fine. We can talk. This is adulting, ladies and gentlemen. This is investors here. People from all walks of life, all over the country, born and raised in different parts of the world, all come together. So therefore, you never know what somebody can tell you, what you can hear, what you can see in the chat room that's going to help you. The first things first, you want to reduce your debt, then you need to call Tracy. Sorry, I always say call. You have to email her. It's Tracy, TRACY dot Sharpe, SHARPE at moneyladder.com. That's where you start to reduce your debt. Get a hold of it, ladies and gentlemen, because there's one thing that's coming down the pike. If you think these banks, these financial institutions, and the government is going to go down holding the bag, wrong. You know where the government's bag is? Do you know where the financial system's bag is? Your bank account, your brokerage account. That's right. You better start thinking about it, ladies and gentlemen. Why do you think the rich guys always like to borrow? Think about it. Borrowing means somebody else is holding the bag unless you pay it. Do you see how that works? So again, your brokerage account, your bank accounts, all of the things that's regulated by this government, they control your central exchange, crypto account. If things hit the fan, they're going to be grabbing. Whoa, hold on. They'll be going to safe deposit boxes. They'll be going to the gold vaults. They'll be going to the silver vaults. Nobody's going to be spared, just like in 1930. You're not going to be spared. So you better start figuring out something. But you know what's going to be spared? The stock market, because they get to make money out of thin air. And since you can sell stocks with your pieces of paper, they get to make money out of thin air until there isn't any. But don't worry, there's always going to be money. So they might be using yours. All right, just saying. Just like when you put your money in a bank, they're using yours to make money and giving you what, 2%, 2.5, 3%, 3.5, while they're over there making 40, 50% annually. Yeah, I know it's cute, isn't it? But this is the point, ladies and gentlemen. You want to make sure you're in the stock market game now. You can't play around and just go, oh, I have a job. No, 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 no. You have to say, oh, I have a job, and now you need new skills. So, first things first, get your debt in order so you can free up some money so you can start making investments. And even if it's in the stock market, even if the stock market goes down, it's fine. You can short the stock market by buying stocks. I mean, you can go with VIX, right? VIX stocks, UVXY, for instance, things like that. Just go study. This is why you need a pen, pad, and paper all the time when you're here. Come on now. You guys know we can't leave you hanging. We give you information. You're the one that's going to have to go study and see what fits for you. Everything doesn't fit for everybody. But the one thing that does fit, share the video. Everybody on podcasts, let people know. Hit the star, hit the check box, hit the square box. I don't really care. Hit the heart. Make sure people know, because they don't make it this simple, but we're going to make it even simpler for you, because once again, you know, we keep the goods on hand, on deck, because we know how hard it is to get information. So after you've got the tracy.sharpe with an E at the end, TRACY.sharpe, SHARP as in Paul, E, at moneyladder.com. In that same link, right below there, she came on about 2 years ago when she worked for another company and tells how she helps you. So therefore, you can just go and check it out yourself. Check out that video. It's in the chat room once again. And if you watch this on replay and you're using your mobile phone, here's what you need to do. You need to make sure you go up to the first comment. If you don't see the live chat streaming while you're replaying this, then you tap on the first comment and then you scroll, I believe, to the left. And that'll start pulling up some menus, and you might see the menu that says live chat. You tap on it and it opens up the live chat box. So therefore you can get these links. Somebody else trying to put links in, I'm sorry. Only I can leave links, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now you hit up Tracy, get your debt reduced, get your debt under control, because it's going to cost you more money next year. In fact, it's going to cost you more money next week. Prices are going up daily. Whether you don't notice it because it's 3 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents, but over time, that 3 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents every week that rises, next thing you know, it's an extra 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks. And it's only 6, 7 months later. And then all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute, this is almost 25, 30% more than I was paying only a few months ago. This is what's going to continue to happen in a broke country. Now, protect yourselves out here, ladies and gentlemen. And one way to protect yourself is learning a new skill set, because the rich will never let the stock market go down. So let's keep it moving, shall we? You got the debt situation under control, so you can get that later this year. There's no 0% for 36 months right now. There was a, what was it? I want to say it was Cyber Monday or whatever. It popped up. There was one bank that did 0% for 36 months for one day. And I don't even think it was a day. It was only for a few hours. Everybody else was doing up to 21 payments, up to 24 months. And even those kind of scaled back now, where I see more 0 for 21 payments, which I don't understand that. Why don't you just say what the months are? But this is what you're going to need to get out of this debt. Imagine somebody tells you, hey, it's 0% for 2 years, 3 years of interest, meaning almost 100% of it goes into what you actually owe, every payment. Sure, there might be. I don't really know. Sometimes they're going to make a, an annual fee, things of this nature. But that's why I say almost 100%. But 100% everything you pay going toward the principal, like it should be, right? But imagine years of it. So you continue to pay it for 3 years. You got a chance, or 2 years right now, because there's 21 payments, which again, I don't know why they say 21 payments, but you have right now, if you can get a hold of 0%, even if it was for 6 months, even if it's for 9 months, even if it's for 12, at least get started instead of holding debt that you're going to be paying 25%, 15%, 20%, 25, 30, 35. I've seen stuff as high as 39%. Are you kidding me right now? You need to get the highest debt owed on any cards. You need to get that moved to 0%. So you can get that off the table and start going down from there. Do not go up. Your lowest interest rate, you need, well, it's also based on balance, but your lowest interest rate, you can wait till that one lasts. Get the highest one first. Get that wiped clear. Transfer it to 0. All right? Get that over there. That's why we need you to have good credit. All right. So now you know where to go. See Tracy. You guys got that, right? Now let's get into the stock market, because the stock market meltdown. Remember, I was talking about VIX. In fact, I haven't. I'm just going to tell you, I didn't mess with VIX. I haven't messed with VIX yet. All right. There's one like UVXY. All right. This just, let me see what happened today. Okay, it went up 6.25%. Let me go in the last 5 days. What's happened? It's going to be volatile. It's based on volatility, kind of. Okay, it's barely negative 0.07%. So that's the last 5 days. All right. So again, it does crazy things. Today, it started at 38.80. Dropped to $38.15. Even after hours, it went up to $40. Before after hours, it was at 41. So it's $3 per share. It ends up being 6.25% for the day. There's a lot of others that also went. Again, if you start shorting, what's going to happen is if the stock market goes up, that means the VIX goes down, and they're very volatile because they allow 2x, 3x leverage in stocks. One that I don't know if you can get, but UVIX, for instance, is a 2x long VIX futures ETF. I mean, that's high risk, high rewards, I guess, but my goodness. uh it's lost a 45% value because the stock market went up, right? So again, you could see in the last 6 months, what can we say, right? All-time record highs. So that's not very good if it starts at $12 and now it's $6.55, right? So that's why you have to be very careful if you're going to do these type of shorts. But if you knew how to stock market trade, if you knew how to do stock trading, now you start figuring out what you need to do, because you could actually buy stocks, ETFs, gold, silver, precious metals, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever, crypto, and you could actually say, hit the sell button, which means it's going down, but you should, by all accounts, at least know how to trade, right? If you're going to do this, I highly suggest you start now. I'm not saying start using your money. I'm saying you need to start studying ASAP. All right. At least get your feet wet. If you're like me 5 months ago, my whole life, my friends go, Eric, you're in the business, you're financial, you understand stuff. Why aren't you a trader? I was like, hey, man, as far as I know, traders take L's every time. And then they start naming off names. This guy did this guy does that, this guy does that. Okay, fine. But I'm not doing it. It's too volatile. The numbers don't lie when 90% of people are losers. New people that start, 90 to 95% take L's. People even that do trading take L's, 90 to 95% of the time. So there's an elite group of people that win all the time. But you see that 5%, let's call it 5%. That small group, 5%, they make a living doing this. All right. And there's different ways that make you feel comfortable. Some people trade options. Fine. Some people trade Bitcoin. Some people trade gold and silver. Everybody has their own ways of trading. Some people trade futures. Some people trade each index, SPY, QQQ, for instance. All right, the stock market indexes. They trade those, the US 30, the top 30 US stocks. Just there's all type, NASDAQ, right, which is an index. So you have to figure out what's going to make you profitable. And that's why I start out with the Candlestick Trading Bible. I wish somebody would have told me, hey, Eric, there is something to this, and you should probably learn something first, like maybe the Candlestick Trading Bible, so you understand candlesticks and what you're looking at when they're going up and down, because I never knew, up and down, people saying they make money in either direction. Okay, I understand that, but how do you know when to enter? Or have an idea of when to enter? What are you looking at? I see marks on a screen and see all this, and they're like, don't you see this? And I'm like, I don't see anything. I just see some candlesticks. I see some markings on the screen. What are you doing? And they're over here tapping buttons. I don't realize when they tap the button, they enter the trade, because it's like an invisible thing that happened. And they're like, yeah, look, I'm going to make some money. I'm going to tap this and do. I'm like, okay, I didn't see anything on your screen. And then one time, one of my friends go, oh, I got hotkeys. I was like, okay. All I see is the guy hit his keypad or something, and he did some sort of trading. And I'm looking like, I don't see anything. So it drove me crazy because these guys were in it and they didn't want to take the time to tell me, like, hey, man, we're going to start from scratch. Why don't you come over? They were just like, come over, man. I'll show you how to do some. No, you're not showing me anything. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I just see markings on the screen. I see candles going up and down. I hear you go, oh, or yay, or something. I'm like, this means nothing to me. So anyhow, Candlestick Trading Bible, ladies and gentlemen, that's a good start for you. Straight out the bat. All right? Start there. And now this goes into a whole nother genre because, again, I'm not going to tell you who you need as a broker. Whoever you want to get as a stockbroker, you can get whatever you feel comfortable with. They all have demo accounts. So when you get your Candlestick Trading Bible PDF, you can download it right now, or you can go to stopstrugglingnow.com, and at the top of the menu, you can download it there. It's that simple. And oh, by the way, the gear, it's there too. Might as well put that in there. All right. So the bottom line to the story, ladies and gentlemen, you need a broker. Once you have a brokerage account, stock trading broker, that is, then you need a demo account to coincide with your studying. Don't try to be Johnny Quick. All right. You're not opening up a can and all of a sudden you can trade. You should take your time. This is not for the faint at heart. This has to do with money. Most people have a problem with money. A lot of money or a little bit of money. People always have a problem with money. All right. Now, when it comes to losing money and gaining more money, there's risk factors, and not everybody carries the same risk. Therefore, you may trade differently than another person because risk levels matter. All right. So now that I got that out the way, let's just start with the stock market itself, ladies and gentlemen. The opportunity is there. You need the Candlestick Trading Bible. You need a brokerage account. Again, I'm going to give you who I use, right? And I have a different point of view than most Americans. Because if you are an American that has never had your bank or your government steal your money, then you're going to feel comfortable dealing with whatever broker's regulated in the United States. Okay. So I use CoinX, who's not regulated in the United States, and I also use crypto to load to. No problem, right? They take crypto, USDT, USDC, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and there's probably something else. But of course, I use USDT, USDC because it's simple. I don't like fees. As much fees as Bitcoin and Ethereum like to do, and I don't have to search for late night or earlier or not. So fine. But I use CoinX. So please use the link if you're considering that. And no matter where you're watching from, I will be leaving several links for several things all over because we have multiple chat rooms that are open. That's right. That's how we do it. Trying to get to the masses, even though the YouTube gods show no love. All right. No love. It's funny as hell. But it's okay. We're still gonna help. We don't charge. We have no courses. The only thing you can do is be a member of the channel. We've been monetized once again after they took us off of, they demonetized the SS Nation channel. We've been monetized again. So now you can actually become a member of the channel. That's the extent of anything that you could actually pay. Everything else on the house. All right. You can email, chat rooms. I check them. Maybe not as often as I used to. I'm not sedentary as I used to be, where I'm handling some things on my computer because we're dealing with the family scenarios. So I'm out, right? And I'm not looking at my phone that much. So once again, CoinX, because you can upload crypto, download crypto. So that means you can send it to your wallet. You can send it to wherever you want to send it to. You don't have to come back through, if you're a US citizen, a central exchange. What happens if you come back through a central exchange? Okay, well, hey, tax situations, implications could possibly happen, especially if you're profitable. Just saying. So this way, I bypass all that. I just send the crypto over to the broker, and it's available immediately once it uploads. You can immediately start trading. But I advise you start off with demo accounts, study. There's people online that trade many different ways. I will always say this. Think about the gold rush. Thousands of people went west thinking that they're going to use what? Pans, right? Shovels, axes, picks to somehow find specks of gold or rocks of gold. Who do you think actually made off like bandits? The thousands of people, the majority of them need at least three to those five items that I mentioned. So wouldn't it have been much easier if I just said hardware store, picks, axes, shovels, wheelbarrows, pans, gold slough. I get to sit back and watch thousands of people come. And thank you very much for giving me money every day while you go bust your ass in hopes that you find gold. They didn't want to tell people that the majority, 80 to 90% of people went over there broke, destitute, effed up. They don't want to tell that story. But the guys that was selling all those gold, selling the pans and the picks and the axes and anything that can help gold people, boots, right? Waiters, yeah, whatever. They're selling it all. Thousands of people, millions on the West Coast, west of the Mississippi, coming over for gold, silver, in them their hills, rivers, streams, all over the place. So the hardware guys are sitting there counting dollars. Well, in this case, this is exactly what your 401k, your ETF. Your stock companies are doing. Every time you buy their stock, they're sitting there like, oh, nice. Thank you. I don't have to do anything, but thank you for giving us free money. Now sit back and sweat. Maybe we'll get you 13% this year. Maybe we'll get you 9. Maybe it'll be negative 13%. But nonetheless, I appreciate your money that we can use to make more money. Fine, no problems. But what if you knew that they were using your money to actually buy shares of stock into corporations? Just saying. Assets under management for BlackRock, $1 trillion. Think about everything they can do. They can get loans against those assets under management to go make further leveraged investments. How much are they giving you back? 8%, 9% annually on average. That's it. Inflation is higher than that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care what the Bureau of Labor Statistics and all the Fed says. They're lying to you. In case you're new here and don't understand where you live. While there's a country telling you every other country does propaganda, maybe you should start listening and paying attention, because normally when somebody else says somebody else is doing something without proof, usually it's them that's doing something. So, how it goes: Google is your friend. You can go look it up. Up till 1980, inflation was calculated a different way. When Reagan came in, trickle down theory, Reagan, to clear out the middle class, tax cut, tax breaks for the rich while you pay for it. Yeah, they pretty much had to change the algorithm so inflation numbers would be lower. Because after you do tax cut, tax breaks and give them free money, subsidies, yeah, inflation goes up. So they said, oh, whoa, we better change the game. We better change the game to let people know it's only 2% or 2.5. So they're not thinking anything major and not understanding that their savings accounts is wasting away at the banks. Because if the gig is up and they realize that they're 3.5 or 4.5 or 2.5% we're giving in savings and checking account savings, if they realized it's really 10%, then why would they give us money? They wouldn't give the bank money. They might give a bank that has a brokerage account money, because then at least you go, well, if I can earn 9% and inflation is 3%, I'm winning. Well, you're only winning if you keep it in there for a long period of time. Stock trading, though, you can win enormously in a day, in an hour, within 15 minutes. So you see, they're using your money using risk. The rich guys are using your money for risk to make them rich, while you're sitting on the sideline collecting 7, 8, 9% annually. And these guys are like, every day the stock market goes up and down, and every day they make some hella good guesses, which they aren't guesses. They watch the stock market constantly. Yes, you're going to take L's. Not everybody can win 100% of the time, but if you win damn near 70 to 80% of the time, that means you're going to be very, very profitable, and you're not going to be making just 9% on your money. You're not going to be making 12% on your money. Let's just get real. Okay, a meltdown like the last 2 out of 3 days, that's worth thousands of dollars just off of a small account, ladies and gentlemen, just so you understand. So that's why you got to get in the game. So anyhow, CoinX, that's what you do. That's the first candlestick trading Bible, CoinX is next. Get your brokerage account. It doesn't have to be these guys. You know, you can take your pick who you want to be friends with. All right. But that's how you have to start. Then you have to use the demo account and study stock market trading. Now, some of you are sitting here going, Eric, okay, what about if I don't want to stock trade? We got something for you. My preferred choices, remember, this is all do your own research. But if you like 15% to 19% dividends returns annually, that would be more like it, right? ORC, PSEC, ARR. If you want something high risk, high rewards, go check out IVR. That's high risk, high rewards. Just got to tell all these. They're real estate investment trusts. When the Fed's going to reduce the interest rate sometime either in the next 30 days, 45 days, somewhere in there, they're going to reduce that. But that has nothing to do with what we're talking about here. That only allows the rich companies and corporations and friends of the corporations to be able to borrow at lower rates. That's all that does. All right, just so you understand. That has nothing to do with your mortgage rate, which a lot of people are confused by this. They think when the feds go, I'm going to reduce the rate, they're thinking that's good for them. Woohoo! No, ladies and gentlemen, that means your bank account, instead of giving you 4.5%, is going to drop to 3.25%, 2.99%. That's what that means. Your bank account goes lower, not your mortgage. You ain't buying a house, so forget about it. That 10-year yield, that 10-year bond yield, treasury, you better care about that because that needs to go down in order for your mortgage rates to go down. Just saying. All right. So now that I got you up to speed on why you need to start trading, get to it. You have the tools already set in stone for you. Get your credit cleared, get your stock market trading program down, get all of that. And one other thing that I keep forgetting about when I keep saying, here's Unstoppable Domains. All right. This is going to be in the chat room. Get yourself Unstoppable Domains. It has to do with crypto. You pay one time, like stopstrugglingnow.crypto, ssnlifestyle.crypto. Okay. ssnlifestyle.x, stopstrugglingnow.x. If I need to have people send me crypto, I just give them those. Alphanumeric characters not needed. Why does this matter? It doesn't matter that much. You don't know what the future of crypto is going to be. So if you have an unstoppable domain that you have to only pay 5, 10, 15 bucks, and it's a one-time fee, and it's on a blockchain, minted, and you can build 1, 2, 3 page websites on there as we speak. And since it's on the blockchain, nobody can take it down. That's even cooler, right? There is no monitoring. Like they can demonetize or shut down your channel on any social media platform because they own it. Well, Unstoppable Domains on a blockchain can put up a 1, 2, 3 page website. There's other things that are coming on board, but again, the blockchains have to change a little bit, right? But nonetheless, about that, you need that because you never know where crypto is going to go. And one other thing I will point out, when somebody sends me crypto and I give them stopstrugglingnow.nft, for instance, they know it's stopstrugglingnow.nft. They don't know what my actual crypto alphanumeric characters are until they do the transaction. Then they can find out what it is. But it's not on a central exchange platform in the United States or anywhere in the world. So therefore, the only way somebody's going to know something is if I use that same account to send to a central exchange, which I will not do. It's that simple. I know. You'll thank me a year or two from now. Remember, we have a deadline, December 31st, 2026. It started 3 years ago. Get your debt to 775. I mean, your credit score to 775 or higher. Get yourself real estate or a business outside of the United States. Get yourself a bank account outside of the United States or the country that you're in. Because if you're watching from a different country, you need to be independent from your country's jurisdiction. So, funny, we started this 3 years ago, was the countdown. We're almost down to 9 months coming, or 10 months. What is this with 10 months? Is two. Yeah. We're going to be down to 9 months coming up shortly. Don't worry. I always give you guys a runway. But it's looking like, can you believe we started this 3 years ago? And some people back then was like, he's lost his mind. What's he talking about? Everything was, what's happening? Now people are understanding what things could have, what can happen, right? So that was the thing. So we have several members here who are on the program. They're already set. They're like already bought real estate outside the US, got bank accounts outside the US. Already ready to go. All right, MDA 0214, welcome to the SSN Nation. Money Making Monday, late night edition. Thank you. Accuracy isn't everything. How you manage your positions are much more important. Exactly. You can be 95% accurate, but if your losses that much bigger than your wins, you can have a negative P&L. You're exactly right about that. Money management, ladies and gentlemen. He's giving you keys and investors in the house. This is a key to the whole thing. He's exactly right. Exactly right. Even if I win 8 out of 10 times, the two losses, if I didn't have my money management in mind, where I said I can only lose, let's go 1%, maybe. Maybe that's the way you're going to think about it. Maybe 1% is your L for the day. But some people will say, just like gamblers, they will say, oh, I'll only lose $1,000. They lose the 1,000 and then they go back into their wallet, go to the ATM machine, go to the cage, pull out some money and say, and you're sitting, I'm the guy. Hey man, you told me this is all you're going to bet because we got to do money management. We'll just go chill, man. Let's go hang out. Let's go do some other stuff. Let's go. You can come back on another day when you're fresh, your mind's clear, because I don't need you tilting. That was the deal. This is money management. You can come back another day. There's no rush. Casinos open 24/7. So now he says, oh, no, man, it's all good. I'm going back to the tables or craps or whatever. So wait, why are you getting 2,000 now? Well, I need to win back the 1,000. I was like, yeah, but this is a casino. This is gambling. You could lose 2 more grand. That would be 3 grand. That would be out of the money management scenarios. Yeah, well, it's all right, man. I know what I'm doing. See that there? That is destructive, ladies and gentlemen, because your mind is not set at ease. He's sitting there thinking he needs to win something back. Taking chances unnecessarily oftentimes leads to more L's. And I will say, I've seen it damn near 99 out of 100 times. It continues because the mindset is I need to win something back instead of this was my cutoff. It's a business. There's no reason. I need to just stop, get your mind right, whatever it's going to take. So now he loses 3 Gs and to MDA 021's point. Now he comes back the next time and he wins 1,000. The next time he wins 500. The next time he wins 1,000. Those 3 wins in a row will not upset. He's still negative on the one day that he decided to not play money manager. Still negative. That is what is the problem. So even if he wins the fourth time to become negative or positive, let's say, or even we're back to 3Gs, that's 80% win rate. And he's still even. This is not the scenario we're trying to be in when all he had to do was shut it down. And think about it. If he would have lost to 1,000, then would have won 4 times in a row, just saying, he would be up 2 grand instead of down. And mindset would be a little different potentially. But the point is, very good wording here, MDA0214. I 100% agree with this. I've seen lots of my friends. In case you're new here, I used to gamble. Well, I shouldn't say gamble. I used to play professional poker, and that's all about money management. And yes, even after you win, even after my friends and co-players win, they get their chip. Well, back in the day, you used to get chips. And so they would get the chips, racks, and then they would go play table games, which 99% of the time you're going to take L's. And these people could win 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. And in a mere matter of hours, they lost 25 to 50% of it while people are telling them, let's go, man, let's go. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. So again, I'm only using this as an example because that is the thing that I've seen my friends and people that were trading. I was there with them now that I understand what I'm doing. And I'm looking at the screen differently than they are. I'm saying, talking, trying to learn with them because they've been trading for years. And I'd be like, yeah, it looks like from the candles, it looks like this is going to be dropping down because look, the liquidity is all dried up because of this action that's already happened. So that means if it goes below this point, this line, which I didn't know what the line was before, but there's this line right here. Once it goes below that line, it's probably going to drop significantly. So what are you doing right now trying to enter up here? It's trend. It's like, to me, I see it. To them, they're looking at something different. I thought it was relatively easy. They've been doing trading for a while and they come up in their mind something different. But then as it turns out, they were playing differently because they already messed up. So now that wasn't going to be good enough for their recoup. And I'm like, hold up, man. Why aren't you? What are you doing right now? To me, it was crazy, but to them, it made sense. So that's why, again, I'm going to say it again. Money management is the deal. There's no way around it. All right? No way around it. All right, let's keep moving, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? Now, I'm going to be short this evening. I'm not going to be on too long because, once again, I like all of this. And I like to try and make sure that when you get your money, that you can keep it, right? So there's different things that you can put it into, but I would advise, under the circumstances in America and around the world, I would advise that you control wherever it goes. And again, a lot of people, nothing's ever happened, but just be very, very careful where you keep your funds. All right? Just keep that in mind. That's a major situation. All right. Now, Sprat 5601, I see you. Thank you so much for being in the house on another platform. I appreciate it. Okay. I'm not going to be on here too much longer because the stock market, ladies and gentlemen, is where you're going to need to be. There's just nothing wrong with this. And by the way, MDA 0214, he actually does something that's very, very good. He takes his stock market winnings and puts it into another vehicle that earns interest. Yes, he shared some information, which is, it's actually brilliant. When you make profit, you put it into another place that earns more money. In his case, he like parks it for other to deploy his army of cash into something else. But the fact of the matter is, that works very well because you're not taking it out. You're putting it into something that's actually earning you some more money after you win, which is awesome. Compounding, I always like. Let's get real. So you have many, many ways that you can play this to increase your wealth, which you're going to have to do. There's no way you can sit on the sidelines right now. Your jobs are all at stake. I don't know about you, but I learned something new today. Did anybody see the post that I've made in the last 3 or 4 days, which was talking about the live streams were postponed? I made those with AI. I didn't make them at all, shall I say. I wrote in there, I need to say that it's postponed until a certain time, something like that. Say the SSN Nation Money Making Monday is postponed to a certain time, whichever it was, 7:35 p.m. Eastern tonight. They made it for me in less than 5 seconds. AI. I said, oh, that works. I like it. Let's roll. I know. Now, think about something a little deeper. Some of you out there, very smart people, you work in accounting, you work in a office environment where they say, hey, I need you to curate information and get us this report so we can make decisions. All of you are gone. Because all they're going to do now is put this into freaking Chat GPT, for Christ's sakes, and say, this is what I want to find out, and I need the outcome. Can you give me a report? Oh, yeah, in about 3 minutes. And after it gives the report, even in Chat GPT right now with that weak thing, even that right now says, do you want me to correlate or sorry, do you want me to collate and make a report and get more detailed? Do you understand? You are out of a job. These people are analysts and doing things like this, making tens of thousands of dollars per month. It's finny. All they have to do is talk into the thing. Just what they're telling you. Hey, you know what? I need you to go down there. I need to find out, what do you think the best option is for our business going forward based on our financials? Just what I just said is going into AI right now, and I'm going to have an answer in like less than 3 minutes. And if I need any other further details, it'll ask me, do you want further details based on the country or based on the state that you live in? Or they're giving you options. All you have to do is say yes. And now, less than 2 minutes for that. Do you see where this is going? And now, have you seen the robots over in China prancing and dancing and jumping and doing little karate moves and all this stuff? Now, quite frankly, I'm not impressed. The only way you're going to impress me is when I see a computer with 10 digits tapping on keyboards. But unfortunately, we don't need to do this anymore. When you can just talk. So now you're going to have a problem out here competing with something that can process information from worldwide history in a matter of seconds. Because you know one thing about humans, they don't know history. So there's no way for you to know history unless you studied it from 1930, 1920s, for instance. You would have had to study it. Now I can just go up to Google and say, hey, what happened in the 1920s and early 1930s that led to the Great Depression? And then it'll come up with something. So if you studied it, then all of a sudden you give an answers, and then you're like, hey, so what about the isolationism from the tariffs? What's up with that? You didn't put that contribution in there. Oh, sorry. Yes, that also contributed to, right. Again, They remember somebody has to program these things, right? This is why banning books for you is not a good idea. This is why you always need to have books and history at your disposal. This is why some of the smartest people on the planet always have a rack of books, not here, a rack of books behind them, a library, valuable books written decades ago for the same problems we're having now was already happening before. But people ignore those. And AI, because they could be biased. And that's why this is going to be one of the most interesting times of our lives. Who's going to win? The guys that like to alter history, change history, lie about history, or the truth? Because we already know they're already going to try and change the truth. All right. So I'm not going to talk any further. I've only been here an hour, but I want to thank everybody for being in the house because once again, the stock market opportunity is your opportunity for life. All right? For life, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be it. You can have fish for life now. So get yourself up to game. In fact, get yourself up to just more than the stock market trading. Get yourself up to MDA 0214's level where you can study the financials. So you can find out things such as, I wonder why NVIDIA stock keeps going up. I wonder why AVGO and all these guys, I wonder why their stocks always go up. AMD, why are they stuck? Let me ask you something very simple. If I make a product and it's the best one in the world, and I'm the leader, and there's other people behind me that can't get there, and I say, hey guys, you know what? I'm going to get you a little closer to the best product in the world. I'll let you use some of our stuff because you're not even at that level yet. And they go, oh, we'll buy billions of dollars from you. So now you're feeding an industry such as the AI from several different sides of the coin. Except there's one little problem if you check the financials. And the question you should ask, why are you guys spending damn near $1 trillion? And they would say, for the future, whoever wins the arms race for AI wins. And I'm like, wins what? What are you going to win? Because right now, you're taking huge L's because I don't see $1 trillion in profits. So you're going to waste trillions of dollars to get how much? How much? $50 billion in profits? 100? That's where the problem comes in, right? Maybe you guys might want to check that out because a lot of people are shorting because of the numbers don't make sense. There's an arms race for something that they'll never get that return for. Because as I've just told you, all I have to do is talk, ask a question, get a return, or produce something. And now other people can do the same thing. There's not going to be a real advantage to monetize it for more money, the money you have spent. I don't see how that's going to happen. Maybe they have something in the back pocket somewhere, but again, I don't see how spending trillions and earning a few 100 million or 50 billion or 50 million, whatever it is, it's way too small. Getting 1, 2, 3% back from 100% spent, on what planet is that good business? I can see it right now. The drug cartels, they're going, hey man, the cost of acquisition is $1 million for a customer who's going to give us $30,000. I think that would not work well under any circumstance unless the government's giving you subsidies, tax cut, tax breaks, protection from competition, government contracts, taxpayers' monies. Just saying. Now you understand why you need a stock game under your belt, because you can actually trade everything that I've just said as stock symbols. If you know, you know. But the point is, I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. Be safe out here. I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support over all these years. There's an end game. The Roman Empire is on the downside. US is now the Roman Empire. Expansion all over the world, just like the Roman Empire. Trying to tax your citizens, check mark as well. But your citizens go broke. You can't tax them anymore. Now that means your military can't be around the world fighting. Now you have to contract. And once you contract, game over. We're contracting, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what anybody does, because we don't have any people in place that is putting any regulations toward where money is being spent, and it's not being spent for the majority of the good for the people. And once that has happened, like it has happened now, unless something drastically changes, which it doesn't appear on the horizon, you better figure out how you're going to make money from the rich guy's game. Because sitting on the sidelines and going, oh, I have a 401k or I got an ETF, I bought this and that, that's fine until you have a meltdown or you have no access. So just keep all that in mind. You can't be flippant. You can't be silly. You have to think about protecting yourself and your assets. And with all that said, please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. So hopefully tonight I've given you something to think about again. All right. Stock market opportunities always here, always your friend. It's a moneymaker all the time, 6 days a week, 7 if you have the right broker and you're dealing with Bitcoin and crypto and all that. But again, different markets all over the world. You don't like the US market, do Asian market. Don't like the Asian market, then the EU market. Doesn't matter. Do the UK market. Whatever. Sky is your limit. You're only limited by what you want to do. And now's the time for you to think more about what you need to do, because we had another member of the SSN Nation who's in a corporate job. His third layoff in 4 years, 6-figure jobs. Just saying. All right. This is what's going down out here. Nobody's protected. The CEO's still getting paid though. But they said, "Oh no. We gotta get rid of this 6-figure jobs over here." Yeah, we're not gonna cut anything for our wages or nothing. We'll just get rid of his. See how this goes. This is what's gonna happen, because they got boats, yachts, planes, trains, automobiles, and everything to keep buying them suits and all the watches and all that crap, right? They'd rather fail, but make sure you may not have a job. They'll go down, but they're going to go down slowly. They'd say, hey, we just need to fire 40,000 people between Amazon and UPS. That frees up all kinds of money for us. It's not going to change anything, obviously, because you still lost the business. So now you lost the business. That's why you have to fire people, trying to stay ahead so you can pay your CEOs and all the top brass. But you don't have any workers, so now you're going to rely on robots. Except for the transportation, that'll be a problem, because you can't rely on robots for transportation. You're going to actually need truck drivers. So again, just keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, be safe out here, because you never know what's happening. A lot of people under stress, and financial stress, physical stress, mental stress. So try to keep yourself on a level head. You never know what somebody's going through. So just be safe out here. And with all that said, no matter what you do, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.